There is a place at the very top of the Great Lakes where the brook trout fishing is legendary.
Go fish on.
Attaboy.
There we go, we got him. All right.
Good job, buddy.
Brook trout measured in pounds rather than inches. Home of the world record brook trout, the mighty Nipigon River. This is our destination for this week. I'm Bill Spicer. This is the New Fly Fisher.
Ooh, that's a nice sized fish.
I will catch these all day.
That is what you're in for on this episode.
The New Fly Fisher is made possible in partnership with Destination Ontario, Orvis Fly Fishing, Trout Unlimited, Rio Products, Oscar Blues Brewery, Global Rescue, Adipose Boatworks, WeatherTech Canada.
This week, the New Fly Fisher crew is in Ontario's beautiful North Country, just outside the town of Red Rock. This is located 100 kilometers east of Thunder Bay in northwestern Ontario at the mouth of the Nipigon River. The river is about 48 kilometers long and between 50 and 200 meters wide and flows from Lake Nipigon to Nipigon Bay on Lake Superior. Fish varieties common in this area include lake trout, speckled or brook trout, rainbow trout, walleye, northern pike, and whitefish. Joining us on this episode is Gord Ellis, award-winning outdoor writer and fishing guide. Gord has fished these waters since 1986, so I'm looking forward to a great trip.
So Bill, the setup here is you have a reef that's coming off the shore. It's about 20-25 feet, some rocks on there. It looks shallow, it's about 4 or 5 feet, and then it drops off into we're in about 20 feet right now. So you just throw that fly out, generally straight out from you, let it swing over that reef, drop down, let it swing back, give it maybe a little twitch every once in a while, and then strip it back in. A lot of the times those fish will hit as you're just starting to bring the strip, and they'll hit. Sometimes they'll hit right away, or I'll hang it back even sometimes, just let it wash back there a little bit and then strip it in.
Go fish on.
Attaboy. Feel good?
Yeah. Big head shake.
Okay.
Big
Nice.
head shake.
Well, this is a classic spot here, hanging at the back of that reef. Well, you've been working that spot pretty good there, Bill.
Yeah, he hammered it bang once and then come back and hit it again. Yeah, he's going for a run now. This feels like a good fish. Yes.
Yeah, it's a nice fish.
Oh, wow.
Good start.
We've only been here, what, 10 minutes?
Something like that.
Control him a bit.
There's a lot of current here, like substantive current.
Yeah, now you can't see it back there, but now I'm seeing it as we're closer to the shoal.
Yeah. If you walk back, I'll just slip the net under here. He's just out of reach.
Yep, I'll bring him.
There we go. We got him.
All right.
Good job, buddy. Nice.
That's a decent fish.
Nothing wrong with that. All right. One more look.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Okay, buddy. There it goes.
And away you go. Just like you said, let it swing in the current.
Yeah.
And as soon as I touched it, he whacked it and then come back and hit it again. What they do is they'll hit the bait first to stun it and then come back and eat it. And that's what he did. He hit it first, stunned it, and he turned around and then he ate it, and it was great. Oh.
Perfect.
Brook trout are not like lake trout. Brook trout rarely go deeper than 35 feet. They tend to stick close to shore where the shore drops off suddenly. These areas attract bait and are easy for the fish to hold position in the current scene created by the drop-off. Of all the members of the char family, brook trout adapt most easily to their environment and will tolerate the widest range of conditions, including extremes in temperature. This said, they survive best in temperatures between 55 and 65 degrees Fahrenheit. Size varies greatly depending on water temperature, productivity, and food sources. Brook trout are capable of reaching large sizes in the Nipigon River, mainly due to the abundance of smelts and sculpins which they actively feed on.
Fish on. Right at the back.
Good man. Looks like a good one too.
Oh yeah.
Look at the rod going.
Yeah, it's a good fish.
Let me get my rod in here and I'll give you a
I'm
hand.
going to let us drift back here. Boy, did he crush it.
Awesome.
Catching up to him. It's a good fish. Right at the very, very back. He's coming.
You're letting it swing right to the back and letting it dangle, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a good fish. This is the Nipigon beauty.
Oh yeah, what a nice looking fish.
Yeah.
It's a big fish.
The tank.
It's a big fish.
Okay, Bill, I'm just gonna bring him up here. Oh boy, did he crush it.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, it's a beauty.
That's a Kodak moment, I think.
Yeah, these are just gorgeous fish. They're getting all colored up. A little bit of current here.
Yep.
I'll try to lead them right up to you here. Hello!
Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, what a fish. What a fish.
Wow.
Gord,
Wow.
what a fish.
Wow.
What a fish.
You know what? That's so awesome. Like that thing crushed that fly so hard.
Yeah.
Just,
Oh my,
and
look
what
at
a
him.
fight. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous creature.
Look at the size of it.
I know.
My
What a
God,
tank.
yeah.
There's not many places in the world you can do this.
And drive too.
And drive to
Yeah.
in a Pro V.
Yeah. There we go.
Well, that was awesome.
What a fish.
Good net job.
What a fish.
I know,
Yeah.
like, I
am all right. I'll be your net man any day.
Those fish are just so beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
So strong.
And this time of year, they're starting to color up nicely, aren't
Yeah,
they?
they just get that deep orange and red and the
right.
white leading edge and just the power, like when they hit,
Yeah.
it's just like a freight train. you
Now
know?
let's make a point here I want to make. As you can see, the water around us is quite treacherous and it changes depth on an instant. You need a guide to come and do this that knows the water. You can get into a lot of trouble in these waters. They're quite treacherous.
Well, there's lots of rocks and the water does change. Like 1 minute you can be in fairly soft current, and the next minute it picks up so fast.
Yes.
And also just, traversing across the open water. I mean, there's reefs and logs and also obviously if you're a guide who's been or somebody who's been on the water for a long time, you have some idea where the fish live.
Exactly. Just don't try it yourself at first. That's for sure.
Be safe about
Be
it
safe,
anyway.
yeah.
The great thing about coming to the Nipigon River is that it has world-class fishing and it's a drive-to location that is affordable on most budgets. Our host is Ray Rivard, owner of Quebec Lodge, a beautiful, cozy, friendly place with the most amazing views of Lake Superior. Listen as Ray speaks about the lodge.
The Quebec Lodge was actually built in 1937, and it was built for the executives of the companies that owned the paper mill in Red Rock. One of those companies that owned it for quite a while was Domtar. Now Domtar, their headquarters is in Montreal, which is in Quebec. And so when the bosses came here, this was their home away from home, so it became known as the Quebec Lodge. And it was used very exclusively for years and years and years. So you didn't come in here unless you were invited. And most people in Red Rock or Nipigon heard of it, but they'd never seen it. A couple of years before the mill shut down, they actually closed this place. And in the latter years, it was used as a training center for their senior management.
The next day, Gord took us to the lower part of the river.
So today we're on the lower Nipigon River, and this is the stretch it's I don't know, about 20 kilometers long, runs into Lake Superior. It's all fish that come out of Lake Superior can be in the lower Nipigon, but there's coaster brook trout that also come in here from Lake Superior, and there's resident brook trout as well. You can also catch steelhead or rainbows here, Chinook salmon, walleye, although the season's closed on walleye, but they're here, pike, just pink salmon. It's a neat fishery, but we're targeting hopefully brook trout, working some shorelines and tail outs of pools. Been some nice ones caught in the last couple days, so we'll see what we can do here.
Fish on. Fish on, and he's already into my backing.
Okay, here we'll, we can, oh, I don't think that's a brook trout.
I don't think that's a brook trout. I think that one might have a steelhead on.
Again, just dragging that streamer over the lip.
Over the lip, yeah, just casting out, letting it swing, and then leave it on the dangle for a while. And twitch it a little bit. And that's when this one hit on the dangle. He must have followed it over.
It's a big fish. Ooh, I think it's a brookie.
Oh man.
That's a big brookie.
They're moving into their spawning areas right now. This is August. They're fall spawning fish. So they move in on the grounds and sit there and wait. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, yeah, baby. Look at that. Oh.
Nice.
With that woolly bugger in the side of his mouth. Look at it.
That is just absolutely
beautiful. Look at the colors. Starting to color up now for the fall spawn.
I mean, they just don't come nicer than that, right?
Yeah. Gord, you go ahead. You're more experienced at this. I'll let you release the fish and back to be caught another day.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, buddy. There it goes.
Wow.
Buddy.
Gord.
Awesome.
That was a great fish. That just shows you what you got here as far as quality world ranked brook trout.
Yeah, I mean, that was a perfect brook trout, and in this spectacular area.
Yes.
And I mean, we're fairly close to a busy highway, right? And yet we're in heaven,
we're in
paradise,
heaven, and lots of fish.
Living the dream right now, right? Living the dream. So good job. Very nice fish.
Thank you. Yes. Now the technique we're using on this episode is simple. It's a down and a cross. Nothing else is needed. What I'm doing is I'm casting at a 45-degree angle down and just swinging my streamer in front of them. And every cast I lengthen about a foot and try to go a little bit farther. And it's just done like this. Simple. Get a good cast going. Cast it out. Rod tip down and follow along with the line. And all you're going to feel is the line tighten up. When the line tightens up, you set the hook.
Fish on. So Bill, I was just hanging that streamer back there.
Yeah.
And just kind of working the lip here. And up at, I don't know what it is, but it clamped on that black streamer again.
Yeah, well, black seems to be the color.
Black seems to be the color. I mean, we've been working hard this morning to get a bite. I have no idea what this fish is. And the thing about the lower river is, it could be anything. It could be a salmon. I don't think it's a salmon. It's holding, it's dogging it here.
Maybe a lake trout?
That could be. Or whatever it is, it's a decent size.
Yeah. Well, it's a brookie.
Nice. There we go. And what's interesting about that fish, it's got a tag on it.
It's got a tag in it, yeah.
I'm gonna measure it.
19.
Actually, a 19-incher.
Yeah.
Not a bad fish. Okay, here he goes. Well,
Awesome.
we worked for that guy.
Worked for that guy, yeah. It's been slow this morning.
It's been slow, but maybe that's the start of something.
Yeah, maybe that's the start, yeah.
We have bookings now for next year already. Not a lot, but what we do is we try to encourage people to book before the end of December, because the way we're structured presenting to people now is if they book for next year, we will give them this year's prices to encourage them so that we can plan ahead and get guides lined up and all those kinds of things. So we get a reasonable amount of bookings that are for next year, like 2020, we've already got bookings. But once we start doing the shows, and we do the shows from Edison, New Jersey, right on through to St. Paul, Minnesota, then it actually fills right up. The lodge was built in 1937. The main living room is 40 by 40, and no matter where you sit in the living room, you're looking at a big stone fireplace. And I guess the best way to describe it is if you just had the best day fishing in your life, and you're sitting looking at the fireplace, life doesn't get any better.
What about when we were fishing near the shore and I took that fish? Why were they attracted so close to the shore?
So basically, brook trout like edges. They like drop-offs and current seams, and a lot of times when you're fishing shoreline, they'll just be right on the break where it comes off of the shallower ledge and drops deeper, and that's exactly where you were throwing that fly. And that fly swung over there, and that fish is just tucked up against the edge, comes up, grabs it. So it's always worth drifting shoreline edges and just basically swinging that fly across the break and down, letting it sink a little bit. Then you strip it up and just work down a shoreline like that. And fish can be sitting in all sorts of, there's certain spots they really like, but I've caught them in some of the most random areas. So it's always worth working shoreline areas that way.
Fish on.
Right off that shelf.
Right off the shelf, yep. Doesn't feel nearly as big as the other ones, but
It's not a bad fish. I got a pretty good look at it.
oh yeah?
It's not bad. I think it's sort of playing coy with you right now.
Yeah, it could be, yeah. Oh, it's not bad.
No, it's not a bad fish at all.
Really colored
Yeah,
as I'm getting it closer. I'll get his head up.
There we go.
There we go.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's
Nothing
bigger than
wrong
I
with that.
thought. Bigger than I thought.
Nothing wrong with that fish. Look at that thing. Beautiful.
And that
Good
bugger.
job.
Wow. Look at that. Brook trout, this size, drive-to location, can't beat it. Give him time and they let him swim out of my hands. One of the problems we have as fly fishers is making your fly have some sort of motion. And what's come up with over the years by different people are loop knots. And what I mean by a loop knot is instead of tying directly onto the hook, we tie a loop and the fly can move around. That gives you extra movement in the current, and I really believe it makes a difference. We've been doing this for a number of years, and our success rate went up when we started using loop knots. Watch this animation, it'll show you how to tie this.
Make loose overhand knot. Pass tag through eye of hook and return through open knot. Wrap around 4 to 5 times. Return through knot. Tighten and trim tabs.
The equipment you need when coming to the Nipigon River are, I'm using a 9-foot, 6-weight stiff action. I'd go 7 or even 8 weight too, because the fish here can be enormous. And at this time of year, we're in August right now, mid-August, the Chinooks are starting to show up and the steelhead. So you can be challenged with a 6-weight, but I've chosen a 6-weight. I want it stiff action because I'm throwing sinking lines and I'm throwing heavy flies. So I need that little extra punch in order to get it out. Your reel, now this is important, a good drag. You must have a good drag because these fish will tax your equipment. Large arbor, and I say it all the time, you can use a spindle reel if you want, but a large arbor just makes it easier to pick up line when the fish runs towards you, which they do on occasion here. So 9-foot, 6-weight stiff action rod, large arbor reel with a good smooth drag. Let's talk about the line and the setup that I'm using. First off, the line. It's in clear intermediate line. We're only in about 6 to 8 feet of water most of the time, up to upwards of 10 at times, but 6 to 8, so you don't have to get down extremely fast. But what I've done, because I do want to get it as close to the bottom as I can, I've added on poly leader, loop-to-loop connected, a type 2 sinking poly leader. It's about 5 feet long, and it gets it down nicely near the bottom. Actually, I've hooked up on the bottom a couple of times in 8 to 10 feet, so I'm not having any problem getting down that deep. From there, loop-to-loop connected, I've got about 3 feet. That's all I got, about 15-pound test, 3 feet, and then my fly. The fly is the first thing that hits the fish, so they don't see the leader, they don't see anything like that. They see fly if you're swinging on the swing. Nymphing, that'd be different. I'd have to go longer and lighter, but when I'm swinging flies like we're doing here, only about 3 feet, that's all you need. It keeps the fly down in the kill zone longer. Fish on. Had a good feeling on that. I saw a fish rise over here, so I knew there was some activity. So I put my fly over there, swung it, and bang-o.
We've got a lot of current here, so
yeah, it's going to be a little more difficult
a little trickier to
bring
land
it in.
them. You do lose a lot of fish in the heavier current, especially when they get up on top.
That's right, yeah.
But we can't really go downstream here.
Well, one thing I've learned over the years, if a fish wants to run, you let them run.
Yeah.
And you feel it, especially with a fly rod, you feel it.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, It's just perfect conditions here. You know, we have sort of a slightly hazy, overcast, lake conditions.
And we got some weather coming towards us.
We got a big front coming in.
So the fish are going to be feeding up, I think, before the front comes in.
Strapping on the feed bag and starting to get a little more aggressive. Ah,
yes, sir.
Good thing I got long arms.
And a long net.
And a long net. Nice. Good fish.
All right.
Good fish, Bill. Awesome.
Yes, yes.
That is just
perseverance pays off.
Just a lovely animal right there. Gorgeous, gorgeous brookie.
Yeah, look at how fat it is. It's a good chunky one.
There's nothing wrong with that animal.
Yeah.
So we'll pop him in the live well.
Yep.
Let him get some air here. All right.
Let's see what you measure that.
Okay, well, I'm gonna just get a hold of the tail here. You were dead on, 20 and a half.
20 and a half, there we go, yeah.
Almost 20 and 3/4. That's just a gorgeous, gorgeous Nipigon.
Yeah, you release it there.
Okay.
I don't want to beat him up too much.
Nope, he's going back in. There he goes.
The flies that we use on this trip are quite simple. leech patterns. First off, we took fish on black Zudlers, like so. They must be queuing in on leeches. There must be a lot of leeches in the area. These work quite well. In black and in white. About that size, they don't have to be overly large. 2-3 inches is good. We've been using weighted flies just to make sure they get down. I did have one fish strike and miss it on a chartreuse one. Chartreuse can work at any time, but it's an on and again, off again fly. They either want it or they don't. If you don't get a strike within the first 10 minutes, change it up. The other fly that was working quite well, for me anyways, is this crystal woolly bugger. The crystal is peacock herl colored, kind of turquoise, green, and blue. It sparkles quite a bit in the water, and the fish loved it. So just swinging that across, and they're cone head woolly buggers, so they get down. They're weighted nicely. You got to get your fly presentation down. We saw a few boils, so but I didn't see any kind of hatch happening. The boils, I would assume, are the fish chasing minnows or whatever, but there wasn't any insect. Although there is times of the year when insect activity is here and you can catch them on dry flies. But on this trip, it was streamers. I see a bunch of shadows over there.
The rain had started, and in my experience, the fish can go on a feeding frenzy when it first starts. I wasn't wrong.
Fish on. Into my backing.
I'm gonna go down here.
Oh my.
I think that might be a steelhead.
It might be. It's look kind of silver.
Or even a salmon. I don't think
Man, just
if it's
hammered
a brookie,
it.
it's a tank.
I'm not talking much, people, because I'm concentrating. This is a large fish.
Yeah, it is.
Still in my backing, and he's going back out for another run. Oh my.
Okay, we're gonna chase him. We're gonna chase him, Bill.
We're gonna have to. Big fish.
Yeah, it is a big fish. I saw the belly roll, and it was
Yeah, it looked really silver to me.
Yeah, I think it's either a big rainbow or if it's a brookie, it's a giant.
It's a giant, yeah. Oh, now I'm finally back into my line. Thank you. This definitely is not a brook trout.
No, it's not a brook trout. No.
Looks like a Chinook, yeah.
Well, and you don't get a lot of salmon on flies in this river for whatever reason. Like catch a few, but
oh man.
Sweet fish.
Just incredible. I can't get over how hard it hit.
Smashed it. And that's a 6-weight, right?
That's a 6-weight. Yeah, I'm like really pushing
you're
this.
maxing out a 6-weight with a Chinook.
I'm maxing out this 6-weight.
Yeah, big time.
We're getting closer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's silver salmon.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna move my way back. Yes, sir. Whoa.
Pretty fish.
That was terrific.
That was a crazy fight.
As you can see, it's pouring rain. I think that one's going to be it for today anyways.
I think that's it, yeah.
Look at that, folks. That gave me all my 6-weight.
Maxed out.
Just knocked it out of the park. Knocked it out of the
Very
park.
cool fish.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Put it back to make some babies.
Yep. Away she goes. Got all the species here. Got all the species here. You could get steelhead. That one was a Chinook salmon, brook trout. This is walleye. They got pike here. They got about everything. You got to come to Nipigon.
We hope you enjoyed today's show as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. We highly recommend Gord Ellis as your guide and Ray Rivard and his Quebec Lodge for your next outing. For more information on today's show and others in our informative series, visit us on the net at thenewflyfisher.com. From all of us here at The New Fly Fisher, Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
The new Fly Fisher is made possible in partnership with Destination Ontario, Orvis Fly Fishing, Trout Unlimited, Rio Products, Oscar Blues Brewery, Global Rescue, Adipose Boatworks, WeatherTech Canada.
Hi, I'm Mark Melnick from the new Fly Fisher television show. If you enjoyed that video, do me a favor, hit the like button and subscribe today. Also, we're uploading new videos all the time, so hit the bell to be notified when the next one goes up.